Sammy Gyamfi kopiem e news file abusiafo wone Afenyo-Markin tokwan de to onya ntwae wo se wo insist Afenyo-Markin wo extortionist na me statement we mu oduru enti me kire ma adwen e de na wo say si so because obi extortionist enya asem keto o Sammy Gyamfi se enkofo bebre na criticizing including abro say asare anta kodwe oponkroma adetira Afenyo-Markin kwa na wo kasa asem na fa no ho mebo video na ma na mbia de madwen kire atato radio so kato show mesro oba subscribe we have the notification icon button no video ni drop ya won sabeka free to leave your comments in the comment section oba share link na na foforo anya bi ahwe Lele Flower Green Clay Solutions that Sammy Gyamfi na power enwumre me se open clinic company papa pa mama be press you fear onum office church bank institution ama hoye kama hoye hwam de amesro friend numbers no good screen so kakra bi de bejewo na twad made you po e di amount backhomeaccess.com say we Ghana new na wa manone we project bi Ghana hanim say dine wusi business bi na wusi asase bi na apese okoto uni Ghana ha di untimi nkohwe na wo progress of the project me pacho fa hye phenomenal and as a log on to backhomeaccess.com yenko ni ohu to me professional group ya register ya ye be ko site wonom na yakohwe dan na wusi no contractor no o twa wontro ye be ka no kra kire ye be ma pictures videos na sama report e dan na so foundation level adu lentil na ya boso asase na pesa ukotore dan nguram e dan suo ho e ben kwa ho e de negom ye be kamu no kre e de a kire abujafo yenko ni nkotie Sammy Gyamfi gold board CEO wasa sanija go Afenyo-Markin so me ba me kire ma adwe.
You see, when the IMF tells you that the Bank of Ghana has made this loss, and they tell you how the loss came about, from page 13, as I read, that the loss came about, the 1.7 billion loss, as a result of the scaling up of the domestic good purchase program, the expansion of it, okay? And then they move on to list for you the components of the loss. And then they say discount to off-takers.
Correct.
Then they say fees paid to gold board. Okay?
Yeah.
And then they talk about the spread between the exchange rates at which gold was bought, Forex Bureau, versus the exchange rate at which BOG accounted for the funds in their books, Bank of Ghana rate, which is lower. They list these three things. They are theoretically not wrong. And I will explain that to you. They make a genuine mistake, which I will not even, that is why in my press conference, I termed it mischaracterization. It stems from some of the reports that we share with them. And I will explain that to you. In trading gold, nobody buys gold at spot price, generally speaking. Because the spot price is the full price you can get when you are selling that commodity. And it is, and so you're trading. So you must buy it at a discount, and then within that discount, cater for your cost. Because the gold that you have bought, you are buying it from a bush. You will transport it. There will be security cost. You must smelt it. Smelting is not free. And when you smelt it in a crucible, some will vaporize out. When you are pouring it to cast your bars, you cannot fetch all the gold from that basin. Okay, so we call that smelting losses. And when you are shipping the gold, you pay the airline freight, you pay insurance, and even the person buying the gold from you will ask for a discount. Therefore, you must buy the gold at a discount so that the discount is able to absorb all these incidental operation costs.
Okay.
And so that when you sell it at a discount, you don't incur loss. Okay? But because the Bank of Ghana under the NPP announced a policy that had never been heard of in Ghana in November of 2022.
You read that already to us.
That because the country was in crisis, they could not have access to the capital market to borrow in dollars. So they needed gold so bad, that gold had become like cocaine. And they didn't have any institution with a monopoly like Gold Board. So Bank of Ghana and its aggregators...
Monopsony.
Like monopoly, like Gold Board. So Bank of Ghana had to compete with the Indians, the Chinese, and the private Ghanaians who were buying gold at the time. And another state agency, MEF, who was also buying gold. Then Bank of Ghana says, me, I will buy the gold at a price that nobody can compete. So Bank of Ghana says, I will buy the gold at spot price. That was a decision taken by the economic management and announced by the Minister for Lands. Spot price. So once they buy the gold at spot price, it means they have given the miner the whole price of gold they can get on the international markets. Therefore, any operational cost will be lost to them.
That's right.
What is that operational cost? The fee they must pay the agent for transportation.
You've mentioned all of them.
For logistics, for smelting, for freight, for insurance, and for asset fees. All that will now be the reason for the loss. But in actual fact, is that the reason for the loss? No. The reason for the loss is that you are buying the gold at spot price.
Spot price, correct.
It's as simple as that. So when the IMF says that the component of the loss has to do with fees paid to gold board, offtake discount, everybody sells gold at a discount. In Dubai, the Dubai market itself has what is called Dubai discount. So why is it that the traders don't blame that discount for losses? Nobody can sell gold without a discount. Even LBMA gold, you will sell it, the last scale mining company will sell it at a discount. Why? Because the buyer must cater for his cost of refining. You are giving the person raw gold. The buyer must cater for the logistics, the cost of the shipment. So how can offtake discount be the reason for loss? Unless that offtake discount is proven to be excessive. It's like a client coming to Samson Ladi and says, Samson, I've been arrested by the police. I need bail. And Samson wears his gown and goes to court and applies for bail. Obviously, you will charge the person fees.
Correct.
For legitimate legal services rendered. Unless it can be proven that that fee charge breached the GBA scale of fees. Have you committed a crime? And so if that client was a trader and he added your fee to his cost, and because he was not efficient in managing his cost, that leads to a loss. Is something the reason why he has made a loss? No. So the reason why gold board fees, offtake discounts, and all those incidental operational costs will be listed by the IMF, Bank of Ghana as the components of the loss is because you are buying the gold at spot price. Okay, that is why I say to those who say that look, Parliament is the one that has said, gold board, you are performing assay. Assay is not free. You need to generate IGF. So when you conduct assay, charge 0.25%. You understand? That fee is not only Bank of Ghana who pays. Okay, the large scale people too paid yes, $90 per sample. Why is it that the large scale people are not making losses? Because the same fees that Bank of Ghana pays and private good exporters also pay, large scale people pay. Why are the large scale people not making losses despite paying the same fees? You get a point here. Why is it that in 2024, when there was no gold board, yet the Bank of Ghana made a loss net of $400 million? What this means is that even if President Mahama had not established gold board, even if Sammy Gyamfi had not gone to gold board, the Bank of Ghana will still incur as a fee. Because to export gold, you must determine the value through assay. Even if gold board did not exist, whoever was buying the gold for you, you will pay service fee. The service fee of 0.5%, which per the September 2023 gold purchase agreement between PMMC and Bank of Ghana is supposed to cater for transportation cost, logistics, smelting losses and everything. I'll read that to you. They mark this agreement confidential. You see the opacity, nobody knew of it.
You say you don't know why it should be confidential.
That's why I've published it and I'll give you your copy today. And you look at paragraph 6.3, subclause 13, it says buyer shall bear the buying agent. Buyer is Bank of Ghana, buying agent is PMMC. Sammy Gyamfi was not there, gold board was not there. Buyer shall bear the buying agent into bracket operational cost of 0.5%. of the utilized portion of the advance funds for acting as buying agent of buyer, unless otherwise agreed in writing between the parties. The service charge or fee shall cater for logistics and transport cost, insurance, security, smelting loss, and trade margins. Not free money. And this Bank of Ghana was paying to another private aggregator, SFI, who bought 100% more gold in 2024 than PMMC. 31.5 tons against PMMC 15 tons. In 2025, these losses that they want to blame on gold board. Do you know that this private company, SFI, bought 11 tons in 2025 when there was gold board? Because gold board Act was passed in April of 2025. And we started operationalization in June. Before June, Sapphire was buying gold in the market for Bank of Ghana. And they were being paid the same service fee.
Right.
So why is it that Sapphire is not the cause of the loss, but it is Sammy Gyamfi and Gold Board? Why is it that in 2024, when they made a loss, PMMC was not the cause of the loss, but all of a sudden it is Gold Board? Because the same fee that PMMC was paid, Gold Board was paid for its services, agreed to in an agreement.
Is that to suggest that you are ready to accept that if the MPP agrees that PMMC was responsible for that loss, then same will apply? Will that be factual in the circumstance of what you have said?
That is exposing the duplicity, or if you like, hypocrisy. Because in 2024, BOG makes a loss, and you say that one is BOG, it's not PMMC. It is not Sapphire. In 2025, you say, oh, it is the buying agent, Gold Board. Then I'm saying, what about the other private company who in 2025 also bought some? Now, even if they made that argument, they will be consistent, but they will not be right.
Okay, that's the point I was asking.
But they will not be right, but they would have shown to be consistent. It would have shown that the argument doesn't stem from malice against Sammy Gyamfi as a person. But it would have shown that they clearly don't understand the real cause of the loss, which is the fact that gold is being bought at spot price. And therefore, there will always be a loss because any expenditure on that spot price is a loss. Now, it's like what Ataisa said. Cocoa Board has buying agents who go to the bush and buy cocoa for Cocoa Board. And they are paid a margin of 12.75% on the producer price. When in Ghana have we blamed license buying companies for Cocoa Board losses? Okay? And something, they move from this and they say, oh, but the gold was bought by Sammy Gyamfi and Gold Board. The gold was bought. So why should they not take part of the blame? It's like saying that somebody comes to you as a suspect, because you are a legal practitioner, courtroom practitioner. I'm using legal examples, okay, so that you will appreciate it. So somebody gets a criminal matter, the person is denied bail, you are approached to go and apply for bail. You apply for the bail and secure it, and you take your fees and you go. But the matter moves to trial, and the person goes and engage Kofi Bentel as a lawyer for the trial. And then he is convicted. Then somebody comes to say, the reason why that client was convicted is because of Samson Ladi. Because Samson Ladi was the lawyer who applied for bail for him. Will you accept that? Your job did what? Ended with the bail application. Someone else was responsible for the trial. So by parity of reasoning, but
even that analogy in law may not actually be sound.
Yes.
Because it may not be the lawyer's fault. It may be that the person's case was simply bad.
But
and lawyers don't always go to court to get you out because sometimes you are actually guilty.
Correct, but
and they will try to mitigate for you.
Assuming that he was convicted as a result of an error by counsel. Assuming. You can't still blame Samson Ladi. Because Samson Ladi's engagement had to do with the bail application.
Okay.
And
hold on.
No, let me wrap up there.
I'm told by my production that we have 10 minutes and we're going to raise a couple of other issues.
So hold on. Yeah. And the conduct of the trial lied with Kofi Bentel. By parity of reasoning, Gold Board's role as a buying agent, just like Sapphire, just like PMMC did in the past, starts and ends with take money and go and buy gold for me.
Right.
In selling that gold, Gold Board is not part. Gold Board is not a signatory. Gold Board does not determine who the off-taker should be, what the discount should be. Gold Board has no role in gold sales. So if profit is a function of selling price minus cost, and Gold Board is not involved in determining selling price and the conditions for selling that gold, how do you blame Gold Board? Just because Gold Board participated in buying gold. Then it means that any institution trading gold in Ghana, when you make a loss, blame Gold Board or PMMC because we charge you fees.
Right.
Argument.
So according to the IMF, the issue of discounts.
Yes.
The IMF notes that discounts granted to off-takers, exporters contributed to the program's losses. The question is, who negotiated these off-take discounts? Did Gold Board have any hand in approving them?
Gold Board in 2025 was a buying agent.
Right.
It was not a signatory to offtake agreements.
Okay.
It had no power to determine who would be an offtaker and what the discount would be.
Right.
But even on that offtake discount, it is not the reason for the loss, like I explained. Because offtake discounts are standard features of gold trees, especially raw gold trees, what we call dory gold.
Right.
And so, unless you can show that the offtake discounts were unreasonable, you can't even blame any offtaker. Why? When MPP was in power, Samson, just 1 minute.
Right.
They had only one offtaker. You don't know that. That offtaker was called Alpha Stream. Nobody in Ghana even knew them. Alpha Stream. They were a middleman for another offtaker called Stonex. Yet the Bank of Ghana signed the offtake agreement with the middleman. Do you know at some point what the discount was? 2.2%. It was the Esiama-led BOG that brought it down in 2025 to 1.2%. How do you blame 1%, 1.2%? Now Gold Board, we give 1% offtake discount. That is a standard discount you give on ASM non-traceable dory gold, the IMF will say that is a component of the loss is because the purchase price is at spot.
Right.
So the real cost of the loss is the purchase of gold at spot. And then somebody will say, but why did the buying agents buy it gold at spot? Okay? And why did the buying agent also buy it at a Forest Bureau exchange rate?
Now, as we know, there's a motion before Parliament.
No, if I can deal with this last one, then the motion, because my 10 minutes, let me use it well. So they talk about this exchange rate argument and the spot. The buying agent is there to follow the prescriptions of his principal. So if the principal says by policy, I am going to buy gold at spot price, and by policy, I buy gold at market retail rates, the agent cannot say I will do otherwise. The agent has no power to determine that because the gold is not for the agent and the money is not for the agent. And this gold purchase agreement between PMMC and Bank of Ghana stipulates that gold, the agent, including Red Sapphire PMMC, must buy gold at spots. And the exchange rate is also stipulated, retail market rates.
Okay.
So it is not Gold Board that decided to buy gold at Forest Bureau rate. Right now, we are running the trade on our books. We buy the gold at interbank rates minus 10 pesos. I'm announcing this here for the first time because people don't know. We have been able to move the exchange rate determinant of gold purchases from the Forest Bureau rate, which has been the case for more than a century. In only 1 year, we brought it to interbank. And this year, we even reduced the interbank by 10 pesos. You understand?
Right.
We still do the spot purchases. Why? Because by moving the exchange rate from Forest Bureau to interbank minus 10 pesos, we have discounted the price of gold by 6%.
Okay.
And so we believe that for the world market price for 2025, we should give them all. But next year, 2026, we are bringing a discount of 2%.
Okay.
You understand? So that is how we must understand
the minority is asking for an... Was he really serious about it? Did he sound like he was being a little jovial?
But what did I do? Me too. I just compared him to Kojo Ponkroma, Abna Sare. Kojo Ponkroma, Abna Sare, me, Anta. All of whom are his colleagues in Parliament, MPP people, who have criticized us. And I said, when you listen to those criticisms, you see maybe lack of information, but they don't make it personal. But when you listen to him, you hear malice for Sammy Gyamfi. Other than that, who can read these IMF reports and even suggest that Sammy Gyamfi will have to meet onerous bail conditions to the tune of 22 billion? Because this issue is not about Sammy Gyamfi. So you see the smear campaign there. You get my point? Then he says, Obi Antongo de Moka. In this world, the most cheapest thing to trade is water. You went and supervised 4 consecutive years of losses at Ghana Water Limited when you were board chairman, from 2017 to 2024. A cumulative loss of 3.3 billion. You were sent to ECG as board chair. You supervised another loss of 8.2 billion cedis in 2024. What on Suaboka? What on Kenya Boka? You are not asked to meet any onerous bail conditions. Sammy Gyamfi that has not incurred any loss, it is me who will meet onerous bail conditions.
So that's the point.
So
If the audit,
this is what
if the audit
hold on,
exonerates you from the claims he makes, but why should you reply in such measure?
No, but that is why I'm saying that just like he can criticize me, he's also not beyond reproach. You get my point? So, Sammy Gyamfi should be criticized. Afenyo-Markin should not be criticized. This is not an insult. I am showing you that this is your record. Cumulative loss of 3.3 billion at Ghana Water, 8.2 billion ECG. You are not facing any criminal action and onerous bill terms. Why should you project that on me when I have not made a loss? You see, my brother, there are many underlying issues between I and Afenyo-Markin that you don't know and those watching don't know. I have appeared on news far many times. Perhaps in this country, I have held more press conferences on political issues than anybody. Have you ever heard me use the word extortion against any of my critics? Have you ever heard me? Why will I use this word now? And why have you not heard Afenyo say anything about that or challenge me or threaten to sue? So the NPP people talking, there are things you don't know. I will not just, I'm a consummate Democrat. I eat and drink debates.
I'm not worried. You call the minority leader an extortionist.
I'm not worried if you criticize me. Yes. And that is why he cannot comment on that or even challenge me. He cannot. Because he knows that what I said is true. So there are many things that you may not have the benefit of. But let me talk about my good brother.
Afenyo-Markin is a self-made man.
No problem.
He's got the chain of businesses.
Maybe tell him that.
Why does he need to come and extort money from Gold Board?
Tell him that you want to be his lawyer so that he sues Sammy Gyamfi to substantiate that claim. Tell him. Or tell him that you give him an interview here and Sammy Gyamfi will come and that you should dare Sammy Gyamfi. That is not an insult. I'm speaking about what has happened and he knows. Now, finally, my good brother, Honorable Nilante van der Poel. And here I want to address our rank and file.
We're told his campaign is doomed.
I want to address our rank and file. Honorable Nilante van der Poel is one of the people who have been very supportive of my young political career projection. I consider him a senior brother. And I know that he harbors no ill will towards me. But we are all not perfect. Sometimes, in communicating, something may come across in a way we never intended it. The man says he's sorry. I believe it ends there. Yesterday, I had a very hearty conversation with him, and we've put it behind us. Because at the end of the day, we in the NDC have a party to build and a nation to govern. And so that is all I want to say about that. But you see, the feedback that some of the comparisons and the words were strong is duly understood and taken in good faith. But I have explained to you that that is how you crash deliberate, malicious smear campaigns. When somebody wants to, for 3 months, Sammy Gyamfi, Gold Board, you don't give such a person a peg on the cheek, a hug, and a bouquet of flowers.
Okay.
You call him out for the world to know that what he's doing is not born out of any quest for accountability. It is personal. And the reason why he is on that personal smear campaign is extortion.
Don't repeat that.
I've told you.
All right, thank you.
Position is right. We've made progress under this whole gold purchase framework, using gold to show up our economy. Significant progress has been made, and what we have now is not perfect. I'll be a hypocrite to dismiss that. Just that Kofi has done very well today in being factual that the Gold Board has not made a loss. But when sometimes he turns around and say that, oh, it's a matter of opinion, please. All laws be lost. Whether Jonah swallowed Bonsu or the Bonsu swallowed Jonah, there's a swallow there. However, that is why when our parents gave birth to us, they gave us names. If you have not made a loss, and I have made a loss, and I say you have made a loss, you will not accept it. So just be factual about that so that we can have a dispassionate conversation. You see, imagine this conversation had not been made about Sammy Gyamfi and Gold Board and bail conditions. We would have been discussing policy. Oh. But when you make it about a person, then we
have discussed policy as well. So
number two, yeah, we've discussed policy as well. Then number two, quasi fiscal arrest, please. You made the same mistake that Mesa initially made. That once the IMF says that the domestic good purchase program is a quasi fiscal activity and therefore should move to Gold Board, then it means that the lawsuits that have been made are good ball losses. That's not the meaning.
Yes, not the meaning.
IMF is saying that the central bank. No, let me answer that. Let me answer that.
Sorry,
please,
sorry,
no,
gentlemen.
you're not entitled.
Gentlemen,
you're not entitled.
Gentlemen, hold on.
I want to explain my response.
The Bank of Ghana engages
guys, hold on. Guys, hold on there. Hold on there. Thank you.
So hold on. What is quasi? What is quasi?
I deal with your bank.
Hold on. What is quasi fiscal activity? Quasi fiscal activity are activities by SOEs or the central bank, which should have been activities of fiscal agencies like the Ministry of Finance and be captured on the budgets, like subsidies. So the IMF says what you are doing to bring in dollars is like a subsidy. The Ministry of Finance and its agencies must be responsible. You as a central bank, your mandate is monetary policy. So stay away from fiscal activities. So they are asking for a shift of responsibility. It is not to say that losses already incurred at the time that quasi-fiscal activity was being performed by the central bank is the cause or responsibility of the gold bond. So let's understand that. Then I want to repeat my challenge to my good brother, Honorable Ejapamesa. Honorable, the 2025 audited accounts were prepared by KPMG, signed by the current leadership of the Bank of Ghana. That is Governor Esiama. It is a 2025 audited report. It is in that report that the domestic gold purchase program loss for 2024 of 5.6 billion, which was concealed under your tenure, was disclosed in 2025. You see, so if you want to show that Sammy Gyamfi is not being truthful and that there was no concealment, no cover-up, take your 2024 audited accounts and show me where you disclosed that 5.6 billion. It is not there. You only disclose gold for oil losses.
All right.
Then finally, on Haptel, Ejapa, the old man, Dr. Bawumia, is sitting there somewhere enjoying this peace.
He's not an old man.
If you want us, old man is the balance the youth is to address people elderly out of respect. You understand?
Go ahead.
If you want me to go back to what I said and defend that, we can do that. But I don't think we'll have time to do that today. It is not that. No, I never said that by saying that somebody owns a company, his name is on incorporation documents. I was talking about fronting. And that is a discussion we can have. And finally to your advice. And finally to your advice.
4 years ago, you guys have tested
since we quoted the Bible, I want to quote the Bible and also end. Samson.
As long as you're not wearing
I have not insulted anybody. Somebody attacked my person and I have responded. And you quoted Proverbs. So let me also quote you Proverbs 26, verse 5. It says, answer a fool according to his folly, or he will be wise in his own eyes.
Okay.
So please, I have just given somebody the response he acted for. And finally, Samson, you are right when you say that the person against whom I use the word extortion is not in the studio and therefore it's not fair. I agree with you. And that is why we should try and get him in the studio next time so that it can be fair for me to raise that point. And if he so challenges, we can interrogate that. On that note, I am done discussing this issue in the media. We will be focused on the important work the president has given us for the betterment of our country. If anybody still wants to talk about good ball losses, it's their own palaver. If they call us to appear before Parliament, we will go and deal with the issue.
And thank you very much. Thank you very much.
These are serious claims from Gold Ball CEO Sammy Gyamfi. And of course, Afenyo-Markin, Matisse say Afenyo-Markin, I can't baby say on you. These are serious claims, so. Yeah, bet me grandpa had a political career. Abujafo, because away extortion is out there as a criminal offense. A hard drink. And I also always be grandpa bum. A be shemu. A dear na unkoba beje, a free Sammy Gyamfi, and I describe it in that manner. Afenyo-Markin say no cry may expect so be take action. And tis a weird din say ya obi tinjana ka say e bia sama Sammy Gyamfi kan nyina so bi wom. Say nyina so anim dia you should make an attempt to purge yourself. And yes answer the authorities in charge of corruption related practice e bia Yoku and also OSP. Who bet my bow na ba yen hwemu ana. These are serious claims coming from Sammy Gyamfi Gold Board CEO. And yeah, they also fan a whole grosso. Debbie. You may fan a whole grosso. And with the Ayana Krabi or men Pessa Mekasa Bewa. But I was for Shamia. Sammy Gyamfi, this is not the first time press conference that's what kind. After that, Abbas knew within Erika J. Omunine told the same line. And then was a news file. In fact, the next one put in the watch, say, and go for me bring the MPP more criticizing. On first, I didn't tag your mother. I didn't know Afenyo-Markin Kwan or this I didn't tag no. Anything I make us say, I was a Jemu bum. And he put a customer fans and yellow cry. Or make effort to purge himself. Now, cast out to us and found what the Abuja for. A bit mahaw, that should be the better tribunal. Oh, so you can say what here. It means you are not in your so be any so. And Tessa. It's a bit of my channel. Also, check what you go comment section. I'll share link in a for and you be. I share most of for Steve Zando. You must anybody share. Bye bye.